Hey Yara, good to see you. Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Really good. Yeah, chilling and looking forward to your mood board, right? So, how did that go?
Honestly, I'm somewhere in the scripting process, but um, for me to get into that, I do actually need a little bit of guidance.
All right. Yeah. So you gathered
All
some
right.
source materials, right?
Yeah, I actually want to share it with you.
Yeah. You had this idea to make the POV film, right? Yeah. Did
Yes.
you stick with that?
Yeah, but I've taken like a really interesting approach. Well, it's a bit hesitant about this, honestly, but to be my full film. But yeah, I think you should try something, and if it doesn't work, you learn from.
So, which tools did you use to make your mood board? Did you have it on a computer or?
Yeah, I'm using my laptop, but using ChatGPT to help me craft a little bit. But I don't really. Okay, there are some references I can share with you. At the same time, it's not quite the same storyline. It doesn't take the same approach, I guess.
Okay. And what would you say was kind of the problem to finish it? Like, where did you get stuck? So if we can dive into that.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
That the images did not really represent what you wanted to convey in your story. Was it that?
No, I'm actually okay. So the story is very emotional. It's a little bit of a thriller. I want to do two different points of view. So the story is about two women,
Mm-hmm.
um, a wife and then like a girlfriend to the guy. And it's all about the dilemma of, like knowing and not knowing at the same time. In this scenario, they switch bodies or spirit, and it takes them a little bit of time to recognize that they've actually changed bodies
Yeah.
or to recognize their own selves. For the genre, I'm not sure if it's classified as thriller or not, but we have five main themes. And the first one is them like meeting, two women meeting for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about this overwhelming feeling of familiarity, but still like a strange feeling or force pulling them to really ask each other, but they live resisted and they just go on with their day. And then the moments of the body switch, which happens due to the girl meeting the guy and falling in love with his husband.
Mm-hmm.
And that triggers both of them to switch bodies, where the wife is actually more into like reliving the nostalgic feeling of the first romantic experience with this guy. And she's kind of in denial and she doesn't want to realize all of the little details that are missing because it just feels very nostalgic and yeah, something that missing from her current life or her reality. While the girlfriend who is absolutely feeling like an imposter in this new job, she's married and she has friends that remember all of these little details about her marriage and her life before marriage and not really relate most of the time. But the strange thing is that both of them have the same feelings, and that what connected them. The wife would be with the husband and maybe for an example in a couch, very cozy. But then there'll be another memory of her, like a distorted image in a way of another person or another life. But they come to their realization. The Girlfriend scrolls through pictures of her wedding. She doesn't recognize the breast catchers in the background. Friends talk about the marriage, laughing about old stories. A backyard barbecue, as the wife listens as her husband vents about how the real life would end up in his body. I hope that you're following. I'm not sure if I'm making sense of far.
I'm following you. I have some questions. Sometimes the audio got stuck, but I got like the big picture kind of. It seems very specific in some regards, while you have like this concrete barbecue situation already. So I think we can paint like a really concrete picture already that then can also transform. And I think it's a beautiful curiosity to explore. And you were also mentioning that you think of it as an experimental film in the beginning, right? It was like raw, and I'm just wondering about the temporalities, how you envision that, if it's like a slow narrative where we like really get like into the scenes, or we have like a almost like a music video experience. How did you think of that so far? And then we can just talk about it and brainstorm.
Okay, I thought about it, but I thought about it in a different way. I wanted the viewer to have a little bit power of what happened in the scene. Obviously, everything will be pre-recorded, but at the same time, I wanted it to be like a game where the viewer can have some input about the next scenes and the possibilities of that scene being in a different direction or resulting in a different resolution. But mainly you'll end up in the same resolution where both of them have this strong connection that leads them into a different reality where they're alone and can actually be very honest and very raw about what they feel, in a way they feel each other.
Gotcha. All right. So I'm curious to see these mood boards, and in the meantime I have some nice references that we could watch together in terms of visual language that I had to think about, if you want to hear them.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so this is somebody I know from distance, who made this film here.
Amira, maman, Amira, boleh, enggak boleh, boleh. Dépêche-toi. Viens. Merci.
Ouais, décroche. Non, on y va pas.
Monsieur, elle est avec moi.
this world of war. I'm going home to see my mother and all my loved ones who've gone on.
There's a lot of effort behind it, but we can, in terms of this rawness, take a look at it and
Yeah. But also there's another area I want to discuss with you about maybe how am I going to make these visuals or these feelings very present, because that's the whole. If it's going to be about color grading, or if I should do like maybe a distorted image when the switch up happened, or like the technicalities of these scenes.
I really feel like it's strongly tied to your voice also, and therefore maybe having even like something like a poetic essay could be nice, instead of like telling them, like, I don't know, like maybe just a voiceover that's like some fragments of thoughts, and in a poetic sense, I think this space of poetics can really easily turn political also, but without them having like a finger pointed, if that makes sense, right? Like saying this is right, this is wrong, but then just having it open to interpretation. I
think poetry would actually, it in a way, it voices out everything in a simple way, so I don't have to really work really hard with the visuals in a way, no? But I will still have to work with the lights to emphasize some feelings.
We can figure out all of these things like lightening, color grading, sound, the moment we kind of defined like why this film is worth kind of your time to invest, and figure like there's clearly a intention behind. We kind of just need to verbalize that, and then we can figure out the technicalities after. And some other thing I had to think of, there's a Brazilian writer, and he was writing for he started by making films actually, like with the goal of representing the violence in the favelas in, I don't know where exactly it was, probably was Brazil, and there was like people getting raped, drug violence, and he was trying to find like a visual language for that violence happening, and then like showing the violence, and he really got tired of it because he could not nail it down. So what he did was, instead of like showing the violence from outside, he was turning to the introspect of just writing in the first person, because like only then the viewer could like really grasp this violence, like written in the I form, like now I get raped, like, and this was kind of where the human psychology really kicked in, because then it was, oh shit, this is happening to me, and somehow like we act like that, like only when it's happening to us, like then we can really feel the impact, even if it's fiction or a story. But in contrast, when we see like something bad happening on the news, I don't know, like an explosion, we're like, oh yeah, that's bad, and we like, our mind knows that it's bad and that things are happening, but somehow like that's what he defined, like it's not me saying that, but it's really just what was his experience when he turned to the I view, that we're like, oh, now it's happening to me, my family, my social circle, and my personal life, and that's sad, but that's somehow how we function. Therefore, I think that that way of working with the I view has like a very strong connotation in that regard.
Yeah, honestly, this is one of the stuff I've also thought about writing about, but maybe in a poetry form, it's much easier. But at the same time, I don't know if that's going to be fair to, you know, fully represent the struggle. And
it's great to have references, but it's also so easy to get hung up on what other people are doing. So, like on your work, because as I said, it's great to have references, but we don't want to, copy. Like it's okay to get inspired.
I did actually go through it. It would be really interesting to try and use AI to help me out a little bit with research.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah, references that you'll do for me.
Yeah, and I really think like if it's then an essay film or a film about a person, like this can all be figured out like while we go ahead. Yeah, there's like a couple of words that come to my mind, like it would be like identity and the self and the way others perceive you, and it's like the inside of the emotional landscape versus the outside, and it's a love story somehow also. Would you say that's true? Or
I think it was more, it's not really a love story as much as it's about women empowerment in particular.
All right.
I really wanted to get out of the idea of like being with the man and like fighting for the guy or something like that. I wanted it to be like both of them living in each other's shoes and experiencing the same feelings.
All right.
Yet the feelings are a bit conflicted, and so does the memory kind of intertwine. So it's like a deja vu feeling where she remembers something from a different life, you know? And yeah. Yeah, but there also had to be some conflict. So I'll try to explore that a little bit and refine that script as well, because it's not really done. But I think also looking at references and storylines that are a bit familiar or similar helped me shoot some of things a bit.
Of course, definitely.
As you said, like it's really good to also pay attention to what's out there, you know, or what people have already done about certain topics, because everything's kind of recreation in a sense.
Yeah, and we can learn from that, and then we pick like maybe the POV aesthetics from this film that I sent you before, and then we take a narrative fragment from somewhere else, and then we create like a collection of things that has been before to make your film, and then find like what is truly unique about your taste and just what you resonate with. And I think the woman empowerment and this exchange of like point of views is something you can also take in for future projects. Like even this is just then happening like within a, you know, we're doing like this mini film challenge, which is like the 30-second to 1 minute, and then we can just gather experiences and just make something happen, and then eventually like take that same content and bring it to a bigger film after. So what I would emphasize is really the need to not overthink all of the questions you might be having right now, like should it be like a voiceover, should it be this, should it be that, but really just get started and do one of them, and then share it with others, and then you're like, oh man, that did not work out well, whatever, okay, how can we did this, but actually we stumbled into this amazing scene that emerged by chance, and like, wow, that really made it. So maybe we can then next time bring this discovery that we eventually made.
In a different project.
Yeah, kind of. And then that's it. Like, let's don't overthink it. We will create one location with like 2 people or something. And then we will just make an experiment. You will learn about lighting. You will learn about color grading. You will learn about how to take the raw footage to a film. And that's all we want for now. And
I think, yeah, I was actually thinking about that. That's one of the reasons why I was hesitant about choosing this to be the first movie, because it sounds like there's a lot of elements that need to be, you know, in line with each other, but also, it needs a little bit more work or maybe a bigger budget. But if we're to do like 2 in a room, or like 1 person in a voiceover in a room, it would be really interesting to explore the poetry side of visual cinematography.
Yeah. Or think about it this way. We could just shoot 1 scene from that project.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so that you don't have the feeling that you're missing out on the thing you actually want to do. But we do like 1 scene, and then this is where we can bring in the focus and the attention, and then it's very easy to also do the next scene, kind of.
Okay.
Right? Like,
yeah.
It's like 1 brick that we do, and that is like a proper thing from a like proper work, and we give it like a lot of attention and care, but we take a bit the pressure out of having it like a complete thing already. Because right now we're still in the process of finding kind of your taste, finding the way, the colors you like, the cinematography you like. So preparing for like a 20-minute film is a really big step. That's why we just start with the first step, which is like make like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's very overwhelming to do this, and then you need to think of logistics, and you need people, and you need this and that, and it does not work. When you make a painting, you make like a small one first, and you make a sketch maybe first, and then you don't just go right in with the oil color or something, because then it gets messy, and we don't want messy. We want like slow, steady growth, or like that's what I suggest. At least you do whatever is like feels right for you in the end. But my suggestion would be we just do this 30 seconds, and then we have something concrete. And it's funny, when you go horse riding, then you want your horse to jump, like, even if it has to jump like the biggest steps, in the end, like, you're jumping like a very small one, so that the horse thinks like, oh yeah, he's the boss. And this is how we want to treat our creative process also, right? We do like small steps also. Like we aim for the big ones, but then we get fulfillment out of the little small works. Yeah.
All right. I've actually shared with you another link for one of the other films I wanted to do, but for this one in particular, I just didn't want to rush it in. But now when you talk about, I can actually focus on one scene. It's a particular scene.
Great.
And this one, and going through it, is called Cotton. So this movie is just about cotton production, and also the whole movie is just addressing some issues, not issues as well. And the center of that was cotton. Being from a sub-Saharan African country, cotton is very indigenous to the place, and we have variety of different cotton that grows just like normally, and with a very strong bone for economy as brand. We produced a lot of cotton, and later on there was the synthetic cotton that is more available and like almost like a hollow candlelight setting. and the room is full of cotton. Very light and fuzzy. So there's the elder in the middle, and she is using her hand to thread the cotton. And as she's doing that, it feels a very intimate, as if like she's braiding her daughter's hair, you know. So I'm just trying to play with that scene in particular. Yeah, no, honestly, I just wanted to see your opinion, you know. I feel like this is one of the small things that I can do now, and there wouldn't be so many elements that can distract me. That I can actually do one thing, and I can learn through it the color grade, the contracts, the shadow and lighting, all of that, but in a simpler way.
So if you're more interested in doing like this short film on cotton dreams, then we can easily do that. I found it really exciting to work on the things we discussed so far with the POV and the artistic, this essay film style. I think there's also a lot of room to play in that. But
yes,
I mean, in the end, it's kind of then your creative decision, like which story we could pursue, and I help you kind of to make that happen. Yeah. Because.
All right. No, I think as you said, we should start with one scene. So if I'm gonna go with one scene, I would like you to maybe go through the cotton dream and give me a feedback. And then from there, I'll start doing the Moodboard, and we get started in one.
Okay, and then we postpone the POV idea, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we can totally do that. Like what I personally do is I also have multiple projects I'm working on sometimes, but I found it the most fruitful to nail in on one thing and then like dig deep, and even if there's some obstacle coming, then find a way to work around it. And that was kind of when, even if it's just a prototype, right? You like make like a 30-second film, and then you sketch that idea out, and then maybe in 5 years you won't forget, or you don't have the ideas you have now because you changed as a person, but then you can still get back to this little test film, right? That we could choose two women swapping bodies, and so I thought there was something in it that was like really specific to what you want to convey. And I think this is more like a documentary film, right? The Cotton Dreams. Is that true?
Yeah, it's only that.
Okay. Then let me just read through it.
Yeah, it's alright. So now that you have a lot of appointments later, so whenever you get a chance to do that, always give me a feedback, and then the references as well. It'd be also good to see different things, and
this is kind of your energy levels, right? And then you have like project A, project B, and project C, and you decide kind of that, right? You decide kind of that you want to work a little bit on this one, and then you work a little bit on this one, and then you have like a lot on this one maybe, but as a matter of fact, kind of you never reach kind of the point where you go to the finishing line, kind of.
Yeah, just starting step by step.
So, and then what is maybe a good idea is to just bring like all of the stuff that you have, like most of it, to one thing, and then you reach it kind of immediately. So this is just my thought on task switching, and Yeah.
All right, but I think you actually relate a little bit more with the dreams. I feel like this is something that I really wanted to do, but then I also wanted to do it for a funding program that never came through. But yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be nice to just start a small team. And it's been in my head for some time. I think it would be nice to shoot it. It'll also be very easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, we can do this. Yeah, because it's, as I said, it's your creative decision, and how long would you think of that film, kind of?
To like shoot all of it.
Yeah.
I've worked on this maybe a couple of months ago.
Yeah, because the process behind this one is fundamentally different from what we set out kind of the last session. That's why I'm so hesitant. Because here we need to identify a character, right? We need to find like a real community, and or we do like a thing between reality and fiction. And
okay. How would you visualize that in a specific context? It'd be really interesting to explore that between reality and fiction.
yeah, so that is like a fictional community. And I think you want my feedback to hear that?
Yeah.
I think no matter what we choose on, it does not really matter. But it is really like, yeah, it stops the creative process to switch so between different things. So what, like my suggestion would be is that we go back to where we came from with the essay film and this raw image, and just do like a 30-second film with that.
Yeah.
This is my suggestion.
Okay. Mm.
But it's your film, so you have kind of the decision on the topic. I can't decide this for you. But I think it would be helpful if we fix like one idea kind of today for the next meetings.
Okay. All right. I'm thinking that I can just try and shoot something while I'm here, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll just try to do something small, like 15 or 30 seconds per film or scene. And then from there, we just build up, because I don't want to write a movie and then we're not going to go through all of that. It'd be better to just try out different scenes, do something, then if I can build to it, it'll be a different stage for us, or the scenes or do the post-production.
Yeah, because what I openly truly think is that the reason why the funding and so on did not work out is because there is no like test film behind it or something to back it up, or some test shoot, right? So it's very hard for these people to imagine like from the text. When you make a pitch, you want to have like visuals to back it up, and you want to have very bold scenes, like so that they can, even if they don't read the text, because chances are when you're funding, they won't read it. They want it to be like simply understood, and they want to have like bold headline, little explanation summary, next page, bold headline. Okay, this is what's happening. And then also, find maybe ways why these people that are in the funding committee like should care about it. And then you can, no matter who it is, like maybe say things like to empower the local agriculture economy or something. So like not only have like your idea behind it, but also when you apply for the funding, look for like what are their goals and then like find a common ground, even if you don't care, but just so that you're like, okay, we choose these people because they actually have a benefit that they bring to our whatever.
Or there's a part of the agenda, like or the image.
Yeah, so I think both projects are very worth of executing. Any project is worth of executing when done right, but like I really can see like an urgency behind them. So what I want to address maybe is there's this metaphor of like the horse who cannot decide between water and food. So he's like all the time putting like his head from the food to the water, to the food to the water, and then like it's just starving and getting sad and angry and hangry and lonely. So the solution to that is just to first eat like the food and then go with your head to the water. And I think combining these projects doesn't make sense for now because they have like different intentions behind. One is about women empowerment, the other is about local communities, and so I would not throw them into one film. Or we can, but for now I think it's just in your mind it might be two different intentions. Is that right?
Yeah, no, I think they're very different narratives, but at the same time I feel like they still share some tone to it, or like to create a sense of unity, also develop like differences, and and
they're both made by you, which is the essence behind them, connecting them. So I think but I think like the reason why you did not make this film yet is that it's just like too much of a jump to go from the idea to the final. Like the jump is too big right now. So
so it's the step that I need to take for me to actually guarantee that what I'm writing and what I'm visualizing is something that can be done,
And then later, based on that experience, go to the bigger projects.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And I really need to, we can do more of it, and I will just jump over this and then.
Yeah, it's alright. I'll wait for your feedback, and also whenever you get a chance, you can send me the references for the author, the Brazilian author, and the other as well. And I'll also talk to you soon, perhaps about when I'm going to be shooting when I'm going to be shooting the test scenes first, where we're going to go with that.
Because you can have my feedback on both, but if we work on both ideas at the same time, we won't do anything. That's what I think.
No, I think I'll work on one scene. I'll work on one scene on Cotton Dreams project. But
did you write the text yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I wrote this a while ago.
So, what I would suggest is, did you find this PDF?
Which PDF? Sorry.
This one.
I think I can perhaps do that now.
Did you read through that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, so the specific scene I'm talking about is here afterwards, the conflict. I think it starts somewhere introduce the conflict where Aisha's daydream of the memories of her mother watching the community elder women practicing barmelkhat, which is like the threading of the cotton. Yeah, as a traditional technique, spinning of cotton using a traditional spinning in a small textile local. Okay, might have made a mistake here, but yeah, a technique in a small textile local factory under the warm light of candles in a room with huge piles of cotton. Sits an elderly woman, threading, twisting against her thigh, and rolled threads with her hand, drawing parallel between the wavelessness of cotton and the resilience of the final product that breath, symbolizing the lightness of and the truth in her tradition and the depth and the strength of her community values. The metaphor for the way of we wanted to draw also lines between cotton as a texture and foresee hair as well. So with intimate relationship between that traditional, textile technique where she's rolling the thread in her thighs like that, and also African foresee hair can turn into threads, usually. And I wanted to play with these scenes a little bit, maybe show the scene where she is in a room full of sun and then wedding, and then where somebody is seated down and somebody is doing their hair.
I have a suggestion for you.
Yeah.
I can help you with the storyboards for both of the films and kind of find visuals for that. But the film we actually are going to make, we just do a new one as a test project so that you're not so, we're not messing up with any project that you have for your passion zone and do like a exercise film kind of.
Okay.
Where we just go through the whole thing, doing the storyboard, blah, blah, so that it's like becoming way easier for you to tackle these bigger projects later.
Okay.
And like, if we, there's some guidance here, you can get back on that, but we will basically start that from scratch now. So we could put like woman empowerment into that.
Yeah, of course.
To put
into the dream.
So
that's the one you.
Yeah.
Or the other one.
We are we're making, the goal of this is to have a 30-second film kind of where we go like 30 seconds scene to maybe 2 minutes if we want. That's the scope. And the goal behind this is to learn lighting, learn filmmaking, like cinematography, make failures. So that's why we're not going to like choose one of your babies as a project for now, if you agree on that. And we just choose one location that you have, then we choose 2 people maybe, or 1 depending on that, and we choose deeper interests. So when you think of, are you okay first to go with the impulse of women empowerment as a main intention?
Yeah.
So when you think of women empowerment, what makes you angry kind of?
What makes me angry?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's a very deep question. Where I'm from, it's a little bit harder for women to be taking space in the community, although it's a community that is led by women. in every aspect of life. So I'm talking about, I'm talking about in general representation and good representation of feminism.
Representation of?
Of feminism.
Okay. So would you say it's connected to the male gaze, female gaze?
It's connected to how, sometimes in some spaces, specifically in politics, the kind of women representation that will be appointed is not necessarily aligned with the feminist activists, you know.
So the perception of the female in public is still like driven by like patriarch systems or something?
Yes.
Okay.
It's still patriarchal driven for sure.
What does it mean for you to be feminine?
I think femininity is a part of all of it. I think it's the emotional part of every human being, but it's also more present in females because of biologically that. And I feel like femininity can be leadership. It can also be, they can also be sponsored. It can be basically everything they want. And they could also represent a level of masculinity in that.
So also the balance of, like we all have male and female sides, do you mean that? Like balance of like almost like a yin and yang thing or balance of genders.
And that, and also in like a fluid form as well. Because like depending on the circumstances, if it's a woman in a very happy home, she will be very comfortable, she'll be more feminine, she will not have any reason to portray any masculine energy or character. And feel like she's in a different place where maybe she's in danger or she has been through a lot of hardship. That kind of circumstances is what triggers masculinity or masculine characters to be more
Gotcha. Like what locations do you have access to shoot a film, let's say next weekend even? Like without preparation, very easy going. Where could we shoot a film?
I think public park, even just out here in the States. I also have an apartment. Where I can, I can maybe get some sheets and do a white screen background.
Gotcha. Okay, anything else?
No, I think that's
like a job or something, or a coffee, or like an office.
Yeah, these are also available.
Office, coffee, public library.
Yeah.
Maybe the beach. You have a beach?
Yeah.
Beach. Then we have maybe, I don't know, like public transport.
Mm-hmm.
And that's enough. That's a lot. Do you have 2 people like that could help you with even more with lighting or something?
Not lighting, but I could definitely find somebody that can I can actually work that out.
Yeah. So do you have some people that could act in that? What are the names?
I think I actually have to. I'm not sure if I can. have access for that, but I'm thinking maybe I shoot people in the street, like street photography or videography like that.
They don't need to be experts, right? It just needs to be somebody. Like maybe a friend, your best friend, or your partner, or your mother, somebody.
Yeah.
What we can do there is, like, once we have the mood board, you show it to them, and then you ask them if they want to stare in that. So we take a note for ask later after mood board, and then they have like a visual reference so that they know what they will get into. But we can easily find like just 2 people from your network. If not, we check on Instagram or something, or your Telegram, and just send it and ask them. I'm sure they want to take part in our little fun film project that is like,
yeah.
So we can easily find 2 people, and yeah, scene that is the friction of the past society system versus the change that needs to happen, kind of. So we're having like a confrontation scene between maybe the past, like this patriarch system, versus, yeah, I don't even think it's a friction, but like we can create a scene. And what we'll do next is create a mood board. And I have some things. This first, Jules and Jim. There's this scene here from Jules and Jim by Truffaut where she's dressing up as a guy, so that they have this, I don't know, like a love triangle thing going on. And like, I just like this scene where she dresses up like as a guy, kind of. And as, you know, to subvert that dump, I will just brainstorm, right? It does not have to be anything concrete. And then was it Rosa Parks or something? Yeah, I would also put in this one in the mood board, and you correct me, or if that's nothing that I think this is also an interesting scene. And then what's her name? I can just answer sometime anyway.
That's alright. You'll find the name, and then yeah, or maybe I'll also.
That was pretty, like at that time it was revolutionary, but she also had this one where in public she was just having this towel stuffed into her mouth to shut up, like because she was not allowed to speak, so it was just like making that visual in some way. I think it's we can just put that into the history kind of before. Maybe it's not even a mood board, but it's just stuff that happened, and then it's all black and white, so it's all old, and I think the world is different now. But like this has been, she had, I think not that she was transgender, but I think she had also like some interests in articulating her identity, her own identity. So that was like that character she made up there. And yeah, so what are we having here? We're having like a optical visual trigger to kind of say, well, there is a patriarch system, and it is like clear visual aesthetics, that guy with the suit, and then, you know, once you go like a cigarette and you're like the cowboy person and you have like a, you know, these glasses, then, and the same thing here, like what I could think of is that Well, that's also a thing like the women payment gap kind of, or the gender payment gap.
Okay.
Where you're like getting paid less just because you're like you're a woman basically, and that is at least in Europe still a thing. And this is just an idea, right? We don't need to do it, but it would be maybe interesting to have like one setting where you have like, for example, somebody showing up, like a female showing up at her workplace, dumpily dressed as a guy asking for more salary.
Okay.
Maybe it's like the payday or something in a corporate office or something, or in a coffee, somewhere where you're like people are like lined up, like a meeting or like a corporate meeting, and you have like a situation like, I don't know, like, let's don't get fixed on the visuals, but like they're like, because we can sketch that, we can use AI to generate more images, but I imagine them to be lined up.
Lined up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. I think maybe finding a neutral or a simple topic might be a little bit easier to approach.
Yeah.
So if we were to do female empowerment, one of the other problems that we might be facing everywhere around, and Africa in particular, would be FGM.
Can you repeat that?
Female genitalia circumcision.
All right, gotcha. So it's kind of the what's it called? Is it this one? Like pruning? Maybe not. Can you? Yeah. So it's like a old traditional thing where you have like a physical operation kind of on the female. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hardcore shit.
Something that, I remember I was part of this camp that we did to speak to people in the villages about female circumcision and all of that. And there's always this mentality, victim mentality that happens where other women shame other girls who are not, who are not circumcised. They usually have this approach of it, how it's supposed to be hygienic when you're like that, or when you are circumcised early on in your adulthood.
Shit. So there's even like a guilt shaming in that.
Yeah, that's also a victim trauma response, I guess.
Wow.
It can only fight that, because if it's done to you, you don't want to feel like you're the victim, so you just inflict the same trauma on someone else and just normalize it.
You have so many things to share and talk about, Yara. I think it's really great, and yeah, there could be even another scene kind of where you have like women sitting around and shaming each other kind of like. Yeah, so I think we're like slowly building like a character even that is like a person who's living inside that society kind of, and is like trying to revolt, or not even revolt, but like stand up for her rights and beliefs. And so I would just copy that and do like a scene here where we have like some scene where we can talk about these topics, and that could be like a second, 30-second, like maybe let's say scene 2 or something. Scene 2.
Okay.
And there we go, like maybe we have like a couple of women sitting in a circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are all like white, but yeah, I will just put it anyway and we can exchange it. Maybe we have like a mixed community. I don't know. It's not, yeah. I mean, we're talking about these topics, but I don't want to, yeah.
Yeah, I think resolution can actually be very empowered if the same woman who activates or encourages FGDM is confronting her younger self, who wasn't aware of how all of this is going to be affecting her life as an adult in particular.
Did you mention like a specific name for this? Because I don't know. I think you just mentioned it. No, there was like a shorting, pruning. I have it now. But what did you say? How did you call it?
1 second.
The cutting thing.
Yeah.
But I think
female genitalia.
Female genitalia removal. Let's say. Oh my God, that's really. So, and then you have this group of women like shaming each other for not having that because they're like so shaped by the society system kind of, that they surrender to that kind of. That's hardcore. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot. We might need to have some. Yeah, it's called FGM, female genitalia mutilation.
Female genitalia
mutilation.
What? Female genitalia?
Mutilation. MUTILATION.
Forgive me this. I'm getting a bit mutilation. Okay. Yeah, that's a long scene because I would imagine like them having like built up that from, you have like first like small talk, people are nice, right? Like, and they're like, it's a light mood, and and you have like them vibing on each other's topic, and then all of a sudden you have this trigger moment where they have like a split in the group, and there I think it would be really important to imagine like what the dialogue would be like in real life. So have the exact wording, maybe even slang.
Yeah.
Because that's the stuff that like you have the access to. If I would make this film, I could not, because I don't have the wording and the experience to draw on that. And so I think I need to charge my battery.
Alright.
Yeah. But then
FGM was like a common topic recently, the last decade, I guess. So a lot of activists, female activists all over Africa, in particular in Sudan as well, would do like these campaigns, and then medical students will also go and do a little bit of research, and also run campaigns about awareness against like all of the harms that FGM causes later on in life, you know.
Wow.
From like normal period pain to like exaggerated, awful, side effects later on also in their sexual life. And in the community as well, there's also this sense of, maybe someone have taken something or forced something onto you, because usually the grandmother or like, you know, the elders in the family are the ones to force the parents to circumcise their kids.
Yeah, so it's coming by role models, and you believe that your parents have the best interest, which they also have, mostly, and then like parenting, traditions, and people want the best for you, but maybe they don't know what is the best for you, and then
it's what they want is the best. That's what the narrative is. That's what they thought, and this what they learned is like a good thing. And the only way, even though some of them might feel maybe this shouldn't have happened to somebody, the only way you can actually get rid of this guilt is by normalizing it, I guess.
Yeah, and speaking it out, like making it a topic that it's a problem, or like that it's like against the free will of the person, I think, like, let's take a thing that is not as like strong, which is like alcohol. Maybe you're like in a group and then everybody is like saying you don't drink, like why are you like not a real like whatever, and then I think that's the same, like it's actually toxic or bad for the body, but then like society kind of normalized it, and then it's strange not to like drink, like just as a like example. I think how society is sometimes a bit but it's a different thing, but I just had to think about it. And what we're doing is basically constructing like scene by scene, like interests of you into visual representations that then are so aligned to like what you want to do based on your interests, and then we can pick them like little fruits from a tree and turn them scene by scene by scene into a coherent narrative. And my suggestion is that we are not too picky on just shooting one scene, and then we just decide for one. Maybe we can brainstorm like one more, and then we pick one of these and shoot it in 30 seconds to 2 minutes.
All right. Yeah.
Because it's like fresh ground, and I mean, we could also, maybe you have a scene that you would like to brainstorm on.
There's actually something else, but I don't want to distract myself because I do tend to be jumping from one project to another. I think for now, I'll just rather, get the lights, do something small, even if it's just at home.
Okay, gotcha. Which of these scenes do you like think is more interesting to you right now?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, the FGM topic could be really interesting and might not require much of, many elements.
So this could be a scene that we would like to dive into.
Yeah.
So you can generate images also in, oh my god, I don't know if that's gonna work out. Like maybe we do this the next session, because I really don't want to rush this, but I will just dump that in. It's
Okay, that's all right. yeah, I look forward for our next thing. Maybe you send me the reference, and yeah, I'll also be in contact with you, and we'll decide the scene that we're doing.
Yeah, and that's gonna be hard to generate with Runway, but I will just introduce you very quick to Runway to have AI images generated.
Okay.
That's a good tool to use. It's runway.ml,
Yeah.
and you can click on start a new session and then either drop an image that you already have. You can even create videos with it. You can create let's call this Yara.
Yeah, I have it right here. I'll definitely check this out.
So let's create one image. You give me the image you have and we just do like a sketch with it. So how do you imagine the scene? How does it look like?
I feel like this is not as important. I just want it to be maybe a casual family setting where people are just, or women are just like sitting and laughing, you know. Things started very happy, you know, and that's subtle. And then all of a sudden, somebody brings the topic of their grandchild, maybe a 9 or 10 years old girl, maybe blaming her for growing or like, yeah, becoming an adult. So, yeah, happy.
Okay.
Yeah, so like,
is it a black community, a white community, a mixed community?
a black community.
And is it taking
At
place
least
in a specific location?
specific location. Yeah, I think I have a location that could be.
Are you in Sudan, right?
No, I'm not
Where are
there. But I'm currently in Kampala, Uganda.
Okay. Paper here, get rid of this, add a text, and then we have, we just make storyboard. This is still a test, like it's not gonna be the final storyboard because we'll create a new paper for that, because it's always nice to separate the brainstorming from the thing that you then actually will work on, but I think it could be like a nice pre-sketch kind of, and
Okay. Yeah.
okay, I'll just throw that
I think
to people.
I'm trying to get back to initial notes when I'm writing something.
Can you repeat that, please?
Oh, I was just saying that sometimes the notes before I actually start scripting come really handy.
Yeah,
because you
absolutely.
might get something that also takes you back to the authentic idea. Try, since I can use Runway, I think I'm gonna try and see how I can visualize some of these scenes and create maybe a conversation around it. Or
Yeah, we can do an in-depth thing on Runway. I need to upgrade, and because I was experimenting a lot with it, and then but for now we can just throw it that, and then you do your own research on the images and use whatever Runway or photos from real life even, or drawings. Birthday scene, but all of a sudden someone brings it up.
okay.
Maybe like a nice food scene on table. So I was thinking it could be even like their birthday or something, like, you know, where's like the topic where you're like coming of age maybe, and then, right, so you have this nice setting, and then, yeah, as you like, it's your story, so as you said, like, then you have this mood switch that could also be affected by the light even. So first you have like warm light, and that somehow maybe turns into like colder lights, so that you also, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then
Like motion. Mm-hmm.
So, and this is gonna be the scene that we will experiment with and learn so much about making it happen. So we define like second 0 till 10, and then we write what's happening there, and we define second 20 till 30. Maybe it's gonna be a longer scene because we have like dialogue even. So I would aim we do like a 2-minute scene, but the process is gonna be just the same, that we, you know, we find like specific images, we define like the seconds, what's happening place, and then we have like scene, like second 30 to 40, and the party goes on, like we have 40 to 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And here we describe kind of then what is happening on the audio side. Like first we have a description, and then we think about what is the audio like. So is there like maybe background sound of people chattering? Maybe there's like a music in the background. Yeah, and then we define a visual to it, so that we have like second 0 till 10. Okay, we have this scene of like a dinner being introduced or something, and we hear the chattering of the porcelain or the table, you know, the knives on the plate, like sound like that, and we just imagine that. And then second 20 to 30, we go like, oh, okay, we have like, we're introducing the characters, and we also want to really think about these characters, that we can do either before or after. So think about who are these characters, and there it comes in handy to like just invent real names, like person 1, and then you, depending on like who we are working with, so it would be good to just define like maybe 2 or 3 people that are gonna be the characters, and then you have like maybe the father, who is like a loving person but also cares about being of status within his community, and just wants, you know, he wants like the best for his daughter, but also like is still very affected by, you know, this need to have that sterilization, whatever, operation. And I'm just making it up. You can do this because you have the real access to this information. When I do that, I think it feels a bit wrong, but you can do these, create these characters. And if you need help, I can give you like inputs on that. But I would go for maybe 3 characters, or 4. Person 2, and then person 3. And we want to picture them like real people, because they will be in some way in that film real people. So we have like references for them. So we put in like, I mean, let's use Canva for now. I think it's not the it's probably one of the worst AI generators, but it's coming in handy right now to sketch it first.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll do a little bit more research and think about as we discussed maybe about like the scenes we just discussed about or something a bit simpler.
Yeah, I think it's doable. I think we can do it to choose like 3 to 4 people, family situation. I think we can do it. So it's not too ambitious. Like if you think about
even
too simple.
Can be interesting storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this stuff here, I will just put it away for later, maybe or maybe not. And then, yeah, that's what we're gonna work with.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, Jonas.
Yeah. I think it was a very good session. Yeah, we have like fixed like a concrete thing that we can work on. And until next time, it would be great if you prepare like the following, which is like 3 to 4 concrete actors, then 1 concrete location where we can shoot.
Okay.
Yeah, and then based on that, imagine the scene, find references for the place, people, mood, color, right, of the scene for the mood board that we're gonna make.
All right. Yeah.
Which is like, in the end, it's already the storyboard, because we have like, the mood board is kind of, yeah, we could find more like images about that inspire us to use flim.ai. I don't want to throw too many tools at you, but this is a really good search engine for, let's say, dinner scene, and then we go here and have like from all the movies that ever existed, we can pick a scene and think about the colors, see what we like there, what's the vibe. Yeah, is it like a scene like this where people are like having like this stiff table, or is it like a, you know, more friendly? It's also not friendly, but like a more casual vibe, right? Yeah, is it
that's
like
nice. It's engine for creative.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, this was a really good session today.
Yeah, I think so too. So you have like 3 to 5 actors, 1 concrete location, and then all the stuff you bring, like just make it real. Even if you text it, right? We can also you're a writer. I think you're like, text is a medium that comes very intuitive to you. So just write it out, and then we can next time fix the mood, like the storyboard. That's gonna be the goal for the next session then. Right? So now we have to find the scene. We have to find like, basically, if we go to this, we've in some way started here with the mood board to have like one topic that you care about, analyze what you care about in it, and then clarify that theme, find visual representation. Yeah, and then we go on with that for the storyboard, which we write then, like 1 location, phone, couple characters, and then we write it out what happens second by second, and and then we go shoot it, or you go shoot it, and I advise you on the technicalities of that and prepare you for choosing the right equipment, and just answering whatever questions you have along the way. So I think that's nice. I think it's pretty lunchtime-ish, right? Yep. So ending on that note, if you have some more things that you would like to address, I'm happy to answer them. And if not, then I will send you this one, share it, copy link, put it to, I will put it here for now, and you can access that and download it. And any doubts, curiosities for now?
No, for now I think I do have a lot of homework to do.
Yeah, well, homework, it's just very easy. Think about one place, ask a couple of friends if they want to participate in that film, tell them the story, gather like material using either this flim.ai. Flim. Yeah, it's flim, not film. I always type film.ai, but it's flim.ai, or check the runway thing, or any other runway.
Yeah, no, runway working.
Yeah, it's pretty sophisticated. Yeah, but also, it gets expensive fast. Yeah.
It's expensive, yeah. I've seen their subscription. They really want to go like $900 or something.
Yeah, it's crazy, but you also can create like really crazy videos with it. So I think it's very advanced kind of, and yeah.
I'm sure that is worth that investment.
No, it's
maybe
not worth it for now. No, it's not worth it.
Yeah, for now we'll take the free version.
Yeah, take the free, and if not, just find any other like AI image generator, and we can have a whole session on that, because I use also a lot whatever I just comes handy for me. I also really like to work with sketches actually, so I'm a sketch person. I prefer that, but
I was not blessed with the ability to sketch, but recently I've been trying to concept.
But even if you just do like a little sketch right on paper, it's like, I think that's a beautiful connection between the brain and the hand and the paper, where you're like having like, yeah, like you write. So just write it out, and then, yeah, you know, like we had this also in another session, like storyboards are, can you see my screen? Just so that you see that it's really not important to have a sophisticated drawing for that storyboard.
Yeah.
It can be so simple, and you can, like, anybody can make like a very easy, you know, sketch, and it's enough for the first thing, and then that can be elaborated further. But just to get it out of your mind, it's just perfect to use a piece of paper. Like I always have a sketchbook, and then I write it out, and then take a photo with the phone, put it to this storyboard thing. All right.
Real good.
Yeah. Real good. Real good. Don't think about it as homework. Think about it like as, you know, something you take towards making your film happen. Homework sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's a really, really interesting journey, and it did keep me really exciting, you know. And then I had to explore different styles, you know, especially with the 2 point view. Yeah, it was really exciting.
Yeah, I think so too. But for now, we do like this one scene, and I love how specific it is and how doable it is also.
Yeah.
And then we can explore further. Should we say next Sunday again?
Yeah, next Sunday will work.
Amazing.
Thank you so much, Jonas.
Thank you too. Right? So